So what advice would you give to children who want to choose multiple career?
This is a bit tricky in the sense that it's all boiled down to education again.
Okay.
We find ourselves in a country where we have to learn.
A country called Ghana. Hello, welcome to the Discovery Podcast with me, Godby Mausi, and my co-host here, Ramsey Benson. Today we are going to talk about education, and our focus is going to be on career.
Ramsey Benson is the Director of Operation, Communication, Fundraising and Project Manager at Nneka Youth Foundation. Ramsey studied broadcast journalism, law, communications and human resources. He is a former youth member of parliament and a passionate youth activist. Ramsey is co-founder of Dance Express Africa Foundation.
Honorable, you're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. I'm privileged to be here.
Yeah, so you and I, we have been traveling a lot to places, and so we call ourselves travelers.
Yeah.
Mostly we go to the rural areas, and we have come across children in education sector. People are far behind.
Yeah.
And the deplorable state of some schools in Ghana here too is appalling. But today, I want us to talk about career. Can you help us? When we say career, what does it mean?
Career is a bit broad, but then we can simplify it as one person's calling in life.
Yeah.
It could be anything that one has found himself being attracted to take up as a career. So we can look at career as that. Career could also be looked at as occupation.
Yeah.
And occupation also is a task or activities that one engages in, and a profession. So when we talk about career, occupation, profession, these things, they intertwine sometimes, and we need to understand that they are different things. Yeah, when talking about education in the rural communities or in the underserved communities, we've been to about 620 communities so far in 28 districts, and we've seen it all. And education over there, we can say that the teachers and opinion leaders and stakeholders are trying their best. But what we've noticed or we've realized is that the path connecting children to make reform decision on the choice of career or what they want to be identified with in future is what is missing. You will see that when you interview children, what do you want to be? They tell you, I want to be a banker, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a nurse, because these are the only profession they see around themselves. And we are not saying being a teacher or the teaching is not good, or nursing is not good, banking is not good. No, but we've come a way where we have to relook at our education. How can we reinforce it? How can we reform it to align with community development? That if a child is picking a career, that career should be aligned to community development for themselves first. So if I find myself in a community where there is no cheap compound or clinic or health center, then I am motivated to say I want to be a doctor or I want to be a nurse, in the term that if I go through this process, 3 years of training or maybe 4 years in medicine, and I come home maybe after national service, if there is a need of emergency, I can assist my community.
Yeah,
that should be one that we should be looking at. And not only those big name profession or occupations or careers should be looked at. Entrepreneurship is also there.
Yeah.
Businesses are also there. We can like I said, it's all about our education.
Yeah, I wanted to even come there. In selection of career, mostly students always go for the former or white collar job, like being a lawyer, being a teacher, being a banker, and mostly they're forgotten about a career path like the agriculture sector. Okay, so as a student coming up, okay, maybe growing up in the rural areas where the competition with other people in the urban areas is the difference is very high, because They go to school by 2 o'clock, they close, they go home. Meanwhile, in Accra or maybe in the cities, you see students go to school, they close around 3, 4, and they have tutors who come home to teach them, assist them to make good choice for themselves when it comes to career selection. Okay, so as a student coming up, assuming you're a teacher, okay, what advice or what kind of factors are you going to put down for these children to know that, okay, if I should pick this career, it is going to help my future, okay, help my family, and also help the community as well?
Right. On that, first of all, I would say from the education aspect, we should be moving from just teaching and being a teacher to being educators. So there is difference between teacher and educator.
Yeah.
So an educator is who come in second, because the teacher is going to help you, the student, understand different topics, different subjects. Let me put it this way: different subjects that are relating to your courses that you might want to offer in the future, or your program that you might want to pursue in the future, leading to your choice of career. But now you need to be educated that in this world in which we find ourselves today, or in this era, the white collar job is not the answer to everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what we need. So there must be a broader conversation on it.
Yeah.
Agriculture is not really what we make it to seem like that is not really a paying job. It is paying job. There are countries who have gone so much into agriculture by investing so much into that.
Yeah, like Singapore.
Singapore, yes, we can say Singapore is there. Malaysia also have
India.
invested so much in it. We have countries that we can mention. Okay, so we need to embrace it. We need to also bring it into our curricular activities that students need to pursue agriculture programs.
Yeah.
Okay, if you go to the university, we have agribusiness.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the agribusiness intertwined from animal rearing to crops. Okay, and over the years, back there, you can see that we have subjects like agriculture studies.
Yeah.
But now it has been mixed together with integrated science, and children don't really understand that this is something that they need to give priority to. So this is where I say we need educators. We need people who can educate them and give them informed decisions. So if you find yourself in a community where all you guys do is farming, or mostly after school they go helping their parents to farming, then I expect those children to be thinking outside the box. That how can we, or what can we do to improve on this small land of farming that we are doing? Okay, and by so doing, it means if we are able to do very well, then the next community can start profiting.
Yes.
Okay, so you, the student, is not just about maybe I'm a farmer. You see, we have green tech farming. But this green tech farming does not require so much of innovation. It's only that maybe traditionally we dig the ground. Okay, we prepare the bed, we nurse our plant, we move it from one to another, and we water it, we give it manure and all that. Okay, but with green tech, you can look for concos, those small cans, and plant your seeds in it and do seed grading.
Yeah.
Okay, these are some of the things you have to look at. Now, as you are doing this, it has to be connected, like I said earlier on, to the development of your community, to yourself. So let's go back again. Career is one's calling in life.
Yeah.
So where you find your passion, and that's where you're supposed to dominate. That is what you're supposed to learn about. So if I said I want to be a panelist, I want to be here, I have to watch more shows.
Yeah.
See how people come on your show, how they handle topics, how they tackle it, which angle, how do they speak. So which means I have to be working on myself.
Sure.
But with teaching, we are only taught what is agriculture. Agriculture is a process of farming this and that and that and that. Okay, the next day, how many type of farm system do we have? Oh, we have this, we have mixed cropping, we have that. That is the end.
No practicals.
No practical. Even with the little practical they do, it's just exemplary practicals that they do that we do not base it that, okay, tomorrow we have to see how this goes. Okay, maybe the community, that school, a class session, a session of the class should get a portion of a land and do that thing practically, practice it there. So that way we are developing the interest of the children in that aspect of their career. Before you know, maybe somebody may not be too good with doing the labor work, but somebody may have the techno for the administration aspect of agri. So I may say there are a number of factors to consider, but first of all, it has to be your passion.
So what advice would you give to children who want to choose multiple career?
Right. You see, this is a bit tricky in the sense that it's all boiled down to education again.
Okay.
We find ourselves in a country where we have to learn.
A country called Ghana.
Multiple subjects at the very beginning. So a child can tell you today that I want to be a doctor. Then 3 years to maybe GHS finally. That I want to be a fashion designer. I want to be this. It's because we are juggling everything in their head. For example, let me use myself. When I did not start my education in Ghana, so when I was going through school, it got to a point my mom has to call me after my exam, looking at my performance. She asked me, "What do you want to be in future?" But because I grew up in a Christian Catholic home, I said I want, and I was a mass servant or altar boy, we may call it. I said I want to be a reverend priest. She didn't say anything. The following year, she asked me same question, and I said I want to be a president.
Wow.
She didn't say anything. The third time she asked me, and I said I want to be a doctor, but this time I'm not just going to be a medical doctor, but I want to be a veterinary doctor. I want to take care of animals. And here she said, in all this, why aren't you consistent with one? My mom was a nurse and she rise up through the rank and she became a medical superintendent.
Wow.
So it means she was consistent with what she wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
Okay, but me, I was changing it. But this is my answer to her. I told her that I want to be the first person who could be a reverend father at the same time being a president and have a profession on the side as a doctor.
Okay.
Then she was like, okay, then you need to study hard. So with that, they got me home tutors. Okay, I need to build on my science. I need to build on my history and government and politics.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yes.
So these were clear paths for me, and that was where they were pushing me to head to. But in Ghana, we don't have such a system where if you identify yourself to be that I want to be this, you must compulsorily have to learn mathematics. You must compulsorily have to do citizenship. You must compulsorily have to do creative art. All these
Everything
things
combined.
So it forces our young ones who want to say, maybe I can be a journalist, I can be a doctor, then maybe a teacher, then in my leisure time I can be a bus driver. You see, but it doesn't really work that way. Like I said, career is one's calling in life. So you must be passionate about something. When you're passionate about it, you will not change your mind.
Okay.
I also have a background in journalism. But because I did communication, so this is how come journalism has to come in. But as I was reading journalism, I decided to go further to do broadcast journalism, so I can cover all aspects of journalism. Law. You see that?
Yes.
But it's not that I'm doing it so maybe if my endeavor career or path doesn't work, then maybe I have somewhere to fall in. But the choice of program I've chosen for myself is broad enough.
Yeah.
So I must speak knowledge on journalism, I must speak knowledge on this, I must speak knowledge on that.
Wow.
Okay, so maybe in case I found myself, maybe I have to do with media outreach, I will know how to handle them. Okay, so that there will not be a liable case against me and my company in the future. But it doesn't mean that I'm choosing multiple careers for myself.
Okay.
So if they find, for those who might find themselves in such a situation, I will say, how then can you be dedicated to yourself to doing what you want to do? You will not be dedicated.
Yeah. Before I forget, parents also play a vital role when it comes to career.
Yes.
For children. Okay.
Yes.
And a child may say, when I grow up, I would like to be a medical doctor. The parent will say, no, being a medical doctor is not good for you. I want you to be a pilot. So when it happens like that, the child maybe has seen somebody who is a doctor, and the person has turned to a role model for him or her.
Yeah.
And so he or she has started building the mind and trying all the best to become a medical doctor. And here the parent is saying, no, I want you to be a pilot. Does it bring any sign of negativity to them?
They become frustrated, okay, and they're depressed. Already we bombard them with too much subjects, okay, we bombard them with a lot. But here is the case, we are also expecting them to live up to a certain expectation, okay, to live up to some craft image that we want them to grow into, not really understanding them. What I would say in this case is that what my parents did for me is interaction. They interacted with me. They know my potential. They really know what I can do. I talk. For talking, I talk a lot. And you and I have worked. Even when I'm writing, when you ask me to write a proposal, you can see that I write plenty. Okay, because the idea keep flowing.
Yeah.
I have siblings, but I've learned how to be on my own. I've learned how to play. I've learned how to entertain myself. So my parents knew this. Okay, so they wouldn't force me into an area where I would not feel comfortable at.
Yeah.
Okay, so the advice is parents and teachers and educators need to collaborate to understand their children. This way, I think this way, let's bring it back to career. They will make reform decisions on their career path. Okay, just because I'm a doctor, I give birth, it doesn't necessarily mean that my children should also end up being doctors.
Yeah.
Or maybe my child has made a promise. Listen to this. Maybe I have made a promise when they were 10 years and they were blowing out their birthday candle and said, my wish is I want to be a medical doctor just like mommy or just like daddy. Then we hold it over their head like a World Cup. No, no, it shouldn't be that. It's priority. 10 years from that, 20 years, their priority has changed because they've been exposed
to different things. Yeah.
They've listened, they've seen things, they've experienced things. Okay, and the world also around us is revolving quickly. The 21st century is moving faster. So I don't think we should force a child into a particular domain that they are not comfortable with.
Okay.
And we should also try as much as possible to understand them. Okay, perspective. We should be in their shoe.
Yeah.
I've witnessed some cases where some of the students I've encountered, some have taken me as their mentor.
Yeah.
Their parents were like, "Oh, my daughter wanted to be a nurse." This is coming from a midwife, midwife nurse daughter who wanted to be a nurse. But after interacting with me or into our program, then the child says, "Oh no, I want to be a journalist." Okay, and the mother said, "It's because of you." Now she said she wants to be a journalist, but I'm okay with that if she's also okay with it.
Wow.
This is a supporting mother. But there are other instances where the mother said, "Oh, my daughter said she wanted to be a journalist. Then all of a sudden she said she wants to be a model. She wants to be doing modeling."
Confusing.
And some say, "My son is supposed to go to school and become a banker. He said he wants to be an artist. And what is he going to use that thing to do? In the next 10 years, where would that thing be? Would he be able to make money and come and feed me?"
Killing the spirit.
Yes, that is the thing. We shouldn't forget that each child is born with special gifts.
Yeah.
One could be born with many. One could be born with just one. But that one, it depends on how we nurture it and it to develop into it. Being an artist doesn't make the person less and doesn't make a doctor more than that person. Do you get this?
Yes.
So parents need to understand this.
Okay.
And even teachers, for example, some of your colleagues also do not encourage their students that they should take a career path that does not really call for a white collar job.
Yeah.
Or a white collar. We do not encourage that. It is not the way. It shouldn't be. You go to China, go and ask yourself how many kids who have really come out from school with a degree. Some of them they are basically sitting down and they are fabricating our mobile phones for us. Okay, because that is where they want to be, technology. So once they've identified that this child is very good with breaking things apart and fixing things apart, then why don't you go into the academy, maybe go into tech, go into game building, go into programming? Let the child go there and embrace their potential.
All right, thank you very much, Ramsey. And before we go, teachers also play a vital role when it comes to,
Yes.
Career for children. Our parents also, and our pastors, the general public, everybody, including the child himself. What's your final advice to the general public to help assist children to go for a career path, a career that will help them in future, and the general public as well?
I will say I'm looking forward to a broader conversation that those stakeholders, those in authorities, including parents, teachers, and the Ministry of Education, should really look at our curriculum of education or our policy of education. We cannot make policy about certain crop of people without involving the people in that policy.
Yeah.
Okay. If we are sitting down here as we are talking, it's because we've experienced, we have a hand-on-hand experience with children, and we've seen that. That is why we are sitting talking about this, or that's why I'm here saying this. But then, parents should also know that they have much role equally to play, just as the child is also equally has to go to school, study, and pass.
Yeah.
Teachers also have the same to do. But then, holistically, we all have to sit at a table with a child and tell them the truth. Tell them the truth, okay, and accept it. It may not be the way you want it. So my mom will tell you that I trust you, and trusting somebody means that you believe and you know that they are taking the right decision, even if it does not coincide with what you want. You have to do that for them, and be there and guide them. So if they take a step and it didn't work for them, you will be there to guide them. That is what we have to do. So we all have holistically have to come together to find a common ground that will work for our children. Our time is going to be over. But when we keep talking about the next generation or the future leaders, what are we doing for them? So I think it has to start from the table.
Okay, so I've been talking to Ramsey, and he's my co-host. And today we have talked a lot about career, how to help children to select good career for themselves and the general public, the community, and even the country and the continent as well. Honorable, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Godwin. And, good evening to all our viewers and listeners, and good morning, as we say in French. If I have not met you for the whole day, we say bonjour.
Bonjour, comment ça va?